Much fun in this place. Alright, you can't hear the music because I've turned it off. Hey, Luna. That's a good girl. Yeah. Alright. Or if it puts me in another map that's going to wind up popping up with the same thing.
Who's that Pokemon?
Okay. Okay.
Just move this 3 millimeters over.
Thank you for meeting me here, everyone. June?
As you all know, we've been busy replicating Anka's extractor. The plan is that we use the replicas to cure Suwan.
What happens to the Void once we pull it out of her?
It should pass to Aurene.
And it's not going to turn her into a rampaging dragon?
Aurene's been able to withstand the corruption in the past.
But we don't know for sure, which is why we'll have an army.
Those of you in the Jade Sea, what's Suwan's status?
Still rampaging. We've managed to keep her contained, but everyone's growing weary.
You won't have too much longer. Are the extractors ready to be moved to the Jade Sea?
They'll be ready to go any second, Commander. We're just running a few last-minute tests. Why in the hell didn't that work? I was precise. And, making a few last-minute adjustments. But they'll be in the air in minutes. Tens of minutes at the most.
Gorik, you meet Timmy and June in the Jade Sea.
We're
We need
ready.
all our best
Get them
minds
loaded.
keeping the extractors working.
Actually, Commander, I want to be on the front line. I want to fight the Dragon Void.
Gorik.
I won't be talked out of it. It was my blunder that set this all in motion.
Aww.
This Choya brain needs to make things right.
Commander, Saida and I are out here just off the coast of the Jade Sea. Void creatures are spreading beyond the shore. Rapidly. We might want to get ahead of that. If you have any forces that are air-capable...
Air-capable? That's Ivan. I'll go.
I can go with you. I'm good with heights.
Well, as long as you've got an airship and are reasonably useful in a fight, you're hired.
Very well. Kaz, Jory, since you know all the players involved, I need you two to join Battlefield Command.
We won't let you down.
I know. We've been here before. It didn't break us then, and it won't break us now.
Hey, be more careful with that. It's gonna save the world, you know. Wait, have my comms been open this whole time?
Commander, I never
Sorry,
quite
Commander.
thought things would get this bad. I admit, it's thrown me a little bit, but I'll never get over... I'll get over it soon. My head's in the game. I'm here for whatever you need.
We can't think about that.
They don't need you at the Ministry of
Just gotta do
Security?
what's right in front of us.
Nah, I told them everything I know.
The administrators get to clean up the mess at this point.
Who's going to be the next Minister of Security? Okay. You?
Every step of the way. Every step of the way.
Oh, boy. No. No, I am not going to be the next Minister of Security. There are about 5 levels of deputy ministers ahead of me. And truth is, I don't want to be promoted. I could have been deputy minister years ago. That's not the life for me.
Not that late,
I like to work.
Brunier. Not that
I
late.
watch
How
other
are
people do it.
you?
Besides,
How are you and M?
after all
Oh,
that's
you're
happened,
fine.
I don't know if the ministry's really even the place for me anymore.
Wow. You're only 25 minutes late. No big deal. How are you guys? You have fun crafting? What were you crafting? And dude, how freaking annoying is it with these loads of in-game mail about what's his name's birthday? Looking into costs of snowblower. Nice. Oh my god. It is so annoying. I don't know if you heard about Evan Nashville's birthday. No, I hadn't heard anything about it. Not a thing. Not a thing. You were invited too? Sweet. Like, oh my god. And the fact that this has been going on all day and there's still not a hot fix for that yet. Dude, Goose, let's go. Hell yes. Oh my gosh. Ivan is here for whatever you need, Commander. You have an airship, Ivan?
Oh yeah, won it in a game of dice. Some Echo Vault scrap.
I don't think they have patched it yet.
Stashed. He thought it was a water ship. Didn't even know what he had. Ha! If I hadn't won, I'd have probably found a way to liberate it from him. Anyway, I ran into a few other ex-Aether Blades.
I only got it the
interested in
once,
forming
Murray.
a
I
new
only got
crew
that one once.
To do, strictly legal sorts of airshipping.
You know what Lava's like? I wouldn't be surprised. They're like, ready? Nah, this is hilarious.
I'm not available to talk right now. You know, busy inventing.
You're probably
novel
like, this is gonna be an April
technologies
Fool's
that change how we
joke
communicate.
early.
Leave a message and I'll get back to you.
Kelly!
This is so
Callie,
cool.
thank you for the raid. How are you? Welcome on in. How is Guild Wars 2? How was your stream? What were you up to tonight? What were you up to in Guild Wars 2? Welcome on in, Raiders! Well, welcome on in, Raiders. For those of you that don't know me, I am Tofa. I am a Guild Wars 2 main with a little bit of variety thrown into the mix. If anyone came in with the raid needs to do that after stream self-care, please feel free to do so. Our number one priority here is making sure that everyone gets that much needed self-care. So please do whatever you need to do to take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. And welcome on into the cafe. We come from the speakeasy and we brought refreshing beverages. Hell yeah. What kind of refreshing beverages? Nice to pop in on Timey talking to you. I love Timey. I love Timey. Zeno, how are you? Yeah, I was trying to find stuff that I could turn into basically having nothing but Guild Wars 2 alerts. Well, it's not entirely nothing but Guild Wars 2 alerts. I have a few Final Fantasy 14 alerts as well. And I stumbled across I wanted something with Tiny. And because I absolutely adore Tiny. She's absolutely freaking adorable and I just really want to protect her and she's freaking hysterical. And I saw a YouTube video and it said something about her on a communicator and I'm like, And I saw it was for Soto, I think it was. And I'm like, okay, I hope this isn't going to be a spoiler, but I need to see what it is. So I turned it on and I started watching it, and it was, that bit was right at the beginning of the YouTube video. I was like, okay, so not spoilery. I'm like, okay, I can fix this. And so I took the, I have what's called clip grab, and you can save it so that way it's just the audio instead of the whole video. So I saved it as an audio file and then went to another website where I can cut out the parts that I don't want, and just, I kept that little bit. And so I saved that little bit, and I'm like, that'll be perfect for a little raid thing. The headgear is fantastic, by the way. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and my hoodie is it's a Mandalorian. Oh, Zeno, thank you for the follow. The hoodie that I'm wearing is designed to look like the Mandalorian. So basically, I'm a Mandalorian chick. You know, baby chicken, you know, never mind. Don't mind me. I'm just being stupid today. I'm running on shit sleep and high anxiety. So I just love time. I love Timey. To be fair, I'm also weird because I like, dude, Runier, thank you. I love Bram. Dude, see, thank you, Runier. Literally exactly what I've been saying. I was like, dude, people handle grief in different ways, and he's young and immature. And sometimes some people take it out on the people that they love, i.e. the commander. He loves the commander, and as a friend and respects as a respected companion and ally. Sometimes we hurt the ones we love the most when we're stressed and grieving and this and that. It doesn't mean that we're being necessarily intentionally being an ass. It's we don't know how to handle it emotionally. And honestly, that's exactly what he was doing. That's my personal opinion. I actually felt for Bram. And from the get-go, all I'd heard was all this shit about him. And I'm like, he's just grieving. Oh, he's only like 16? That makes it even more explainable. Agreed, Big Cat. Thank you for that, Wins. If you saw your mom impaled by a jungle monster when you were a teen, you'd have had a hard time coming. See, thank you! I didn't realize he was that young. I thought he was a little older. I was thinking between 20, 25 tops is what I was thinking. So he was really young. But I knew he was really young. I didn't realize he was that. So that explains even more. That further proves my point that it's not that he's just being a dick. You know, I've seen so many people complain about it. I'm like, dude's fucking grieving, and now he's apologized, and some people are like, well, he gets bad again, and I'm sorry, but saying I'm sorry doesn't fix it. I'm like, he realized he was acting like an asshat, and that he wasn't handling his grieving process properly. I actually think it's okay that he apologized, and we're okay with it as the commander. I think we handled it very well, considering. And honestly, considering everything he's been through, not to mention the insane amount of responsibility thrown on his shoulders, I think he handled it really well. And everybody's like, but he's always throwing in the fact that he's Heir's son. I'm like, no. Did you not pay attention during Icebrood Saga? It was thrown into his face by all of the wild spirits that he is the son of air, that he's not the great warrior that she is, that she's the great warrior, and that he has to prove himself because he's only the son of air. I'm like, how can he not be burdened by that and get snappy at times? Because he's getting all this shit thrown on him and thrown in his face. Dude's had it rough, you know? But that's just, that's me, that's how I look at it, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I just understand a little bit better. Hell, I'm still, dude, Lava Slug, same. He was born in 1309, and we meet him in 1326. So he's like, what, 17, 18? Yeah, I guess so, huh? I'm still, yeah, you know what, Lava Slug, I agree. I loved Air. She was my favorite. Although, to be fair, Timey's taken that place. Timey is my favorite. And I still don't entirely trust Keith. 17 in season 1-ish. So even a few years later in season 3, he's still a young adult. Yeah, it's still a really young and having a shit ton of responsibility thrown on his shoulders. I'm 31 and I don't know how I'd feel about seeing my mom, right? Everybody else was thrown into his face that he is Air's son. Some people, the son of Whitebeard. Yeah, exactly. But it's mostly Air. Air is considered superior in order to, that's because Newt Whitebear was just a brute. She was actually smart and cunning and knew how to do battle. Whereas Newt Whitebear was just a brute and ruled by brute strength and fear. When Ritlock said Air has no son to him early, that was a gut punch. I mean, fair, but to be fair, Ritlock didn't know she had no son, or that she had a son. Ritlock had no idea. That came as news to him. He's like, yeah, okay, you're claiming you're her son. She didn't have a son. And then it gets confirmed. He's kind of like, oh. Oh, yeah. We're on End of Dragons. We're on chapter 13 of End of Dragons right now. So yeah, we completely finished Iceberg Saga. Oh, plus, he had the responsibility of thinking that because he used Air's bow and chipped that tooth, that meant he had the legacy to follow through on. And then you get everybody else throwing it in his face, but you're not supposed to. It's not your responsibility. You're only Air's son. My big thing was them sort of forcing him as Norn of Prophecy and proving himself is us doing it all. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, again, it's the grieving and he still hasn't fully come to grips. But by the end, he realizes that the Norn of Prophecy doesn't necessarily get translated the way you want it translated. And he was translating it the way he wanted it translated because that's how it had been translated. That doesn't mean that that's exactly what it meant. A lot of the times when stuff like that about prophecies get talked about, they get looked into over much and get misinterpreted and mistranslated ridiculously, to the point that when the prophecy is fulfilled, everybody's like, well, wait a minute, that's not what it says. Like, dude, if you take the time to actually look at it and read it, you'd understand that it was right there in your face all along. Everybody just translated it the way they wanted to. Tree Fern is still, to me... Oh, Traherne. is still to me one that I never really liked, but I can see. Oh, see, I liked Traherne. I was sad when Traherne was killed off. Nobody knew who the Norn of Prophecy was, even though the commander, if you're a Norn, might be this person. I mean, that's true. That's true. Taimy's my favorite too. I also Faith doesn't get enough hate. See, thank you, Nick. I don't trust her. I've not trusted her since she stole Glint's egg. I've not trusted her. Yeah, it snowballed into season 2 for Bram. So to be with the boat. Yeah, exactly. Near enough. Yeah, yeah. The tree people are all children. They are. Oh yeah, absolutely. Even the eldest among them, the firstborn, they're all children because they're at most. I mean, hell, their race as a race is only 25, 30 years old. Yeah, you're fine, Big Cat. But the tree people are not okay. Oh, okay. My wife was disabled and we played this game together. So, aww. That's so cool, Zeno. I mean, that you guys played it together and that you had a character you could resonate with. I do feel like end of IBS, there should have been more consequences. It would have made Primordi sacrifice more. I mean, fair. I can see that, Runier. I can see that. And to be fair, I feel that there was enough of a consequence because Ritlock was doing what he could to try and save Ryland, and there was no saving Ryland. Honestly, I feel it was good. I was very upset about Ryland. I wanted to see Ryland saved, but I understand. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, and Smoter is responsible for that. In my 100% opinion, Smoter is 100% responsible for that because Ryland was coming around, and then Smoter kills what I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but he kills her, and that just sent Ryland over the edge. And in my opinion, Smoter got exactly what was coming to him. When he got sniped like that, I started laughing my ass off. I'm sorry, but that was funny, and he got his just desserts. He absolutely got his comeuppance, and I was very happy about that. I had zero sympathy for Smoter at all. I hated him. I wanted to be the one to kill him. He still got killed. I'm content. Timing resonates with a lot of disabled people, how it's used correctly, and how she isn't looked down on by most people despite all its barriers. Exactly. She's not looked down on, but we still want to do everything we can to protect her. You know, my good girl. Okay. They definitely rushed the ending of it. Well, considering that layoffs had happened and it was during COVID, it kind of makes sense that it was kind of rushed through because they didn't have a whole lot to work with. Their finance department didn't have much to work with. So I think they did really well considering all the resources they had available to them during probably one of the most difficult times in the industry in a long time. But that's just a story thing. I don't like plot armor. I mean, that's fair, Rooney. Turned out he was right. Yeah. Norn society is huge amount of I prove myself by doing, not by words. Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I dislike the ending of IBS because it reminded me of S7. Season 7 Game of Thrones. Like it hit all the points, but they were like, okay, let's run through this real quick. But they also stretched it out at launch into way more parts than I was happy with. I mean, kind of fair, but the thing with Game of Thrones, for the final 2 seasons, is the writers got sloppy because they just wanted out. They wanted to finish up. They still wanted to get their paycheck, but they wanted to go and do that Star Wars movie that they were supposed to do. And they didn't care to wait for the book author to finish writing Game of Thrones. So they just did it how they wanted to, and he wasn't happy with it. He didn't like how they ended it. He said he would have ended it completely differently. First of all. And second of all, people found out that it was going to be them writing that Star Wars movie, and people threw a fit, and then there was a whole other in-studio thing, and then they ended up getting fired from before they even got started on the Star Wars project that they were supposed to be working on, which, if I recall correctly, was supposed to be the Han Solo movie. So, yeah, in my opinion, they also got what they deserved. So, for them, it was a complete rush on their part, not because of lack of funding or anything else, but because they were rushing it because they just wanted to get it done and over with so they could go work on Star Wars because they were greedy little fucks. Whereas Iceberg Saga happened right in the smack dab in the middle of COVID. And my understanding is there had to be layoffs during that time too, because they just weren't getting the income and they didn't have the finances to be able to do the high scale stuff that they normally would have liked to be able to do. So they had to make sacrifices, and they had to deal with second best. You know what I mean? So I more understand that than I do Game of Thrones. Yep, good old COVID, but I still like IBS. I agree, Rainier. I loved IBS. Beautiful maps. The only map I didn't like in IBS was I can't think of it. It's the one that resets every so often. The ending was one of the most depressing. Well, I'll take your word for it, but up to this point where I'm at right now, I agree it was definitely the most depressing. IBS started so well, got rushed, yeah. I still don't even as Sylvari man. I love Sylvari. Some of IBS faults knack is because during COVID, yeah. Elmora, no, not Elmora. It wasn't Elmora that they killed. Oh, the one from Ryland's band. Yeah. They definitely changed 1.5 million gears while they were still working on things. Part of the problem was 2 teams. It was like no communications between them, and 100% they were pushed to do the paid XPAC. Yeah. No, the killing off Elmora was oh god, I can't think of his name now. The what's his name's doing that ended up becoming the voice of Jormag. Whereas Ryland became the champion of Jormag, that other guy became the voice of Jormag. He was the one that killed Elmora. I was talking about Smoter when he killed I want to say it was basically Ryland's girlfriend or whatever. But yeah. When I say rushed, I really do mean this part. I mean fair. ANET I like, NCSoft I do not. They are your stereotypical publishers. I mean, that's fair. Bangar, yeah. Bangar killed Elmora. Smoter is the one that killed, yeah, Bangar Ruinbringer. Yeah, he's the one that killed Elmora, and that's what started to get Ryland to realize, okay, maybe I need to take a step back and think about this. Cinder, yes, that's it. Smoter killed Cinder. That is what sent Ryland over to 100% siding with Jormag and wanting to be her champ and wanting to be Jormag's champion. That's what it was. Thank you. Yes, Cinder. If Smoter hadn't killed Cinder, Ryland was this freaking close to being like, you know what, you guys are right. I mean, you could see it. It was sinking in. It was really sinking in, but he still wanted to fight this because Char pride and everything, and I get that. but he was so close to siding with us that and then Smoter goes and kills Cinder, and that's what sent him over the edge. So if Smoter hadn't done that, Jormag wouldn't have had the champion or a voice, one of the two. And either way would have been much more easily defeated, and it wouldn't have ended the way it had. The fact that that Smoter killed Cinder was basically hand feeding Rylan to Jormag, saying, "Here you go. I'm on your side all along." You know, so when Smoter got sniped, no lie, I started laughing. I started laughing so hard. I was like, you know what? Good. Dude got what he deserved. That's it. Just, I'm not even going to say hashtag sorry, not sorry. It's just 100% not sorry. Smoter also had us doing low-level war crimes. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah, I hated Smoter. Absolutely hated Smoter. I can't believe I'm about to go ride around on an airship. Next visit to my mom in New Kynig, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Where are the rest of the Kestrel?
Oh, they're back in Echoval. The void corruption there is significant now. But they're doing what we do best. Keeping the people of the forest as safe as they can. I know they'll be okay.
They will. But if you're worried, you could go back and join them.
No. I can do more good out here. If we stop what's going on in the Jade Sea, then everyone is safe.
Aw. I like Ayumi. Hey, Commander. Busy here trying to get these extractors prepped. Did you need something? Do we have any idea what this void actually is?
Oh boy, there's a question. Kind of, but not really. Our observations line up with what